What's happening? Today, we're going to Mars. While we were in Moab, I was researching on Google Earth some cool spots that we could go for a weekend getaway when I came across this area in between Capitol Reef and Canyonlands National Park that I refer to as Mars. The reason I refer to it as Mars is, well, look at this landscape. It's absolutely out of this world. Also, this area is home to the Mars Desert Research Facility, one of only 2 Mars surface research facilities where they run all sorts of different types of experiments to try to see how things will react on the surface of Mars. Now, the Mars Desert Research Facility is a privately owned facility. It's owned by the Mars Society. It's not open to the public. They do not offer any public tours. However, you can view it from a distance as you pass through this area. It's pretty cool to think that the research and the experiments that are performed at this very facility may very well help the future explorers of Mars. I also can't help but to wonder if Mars is this windy. I'll go ahead and apologize in advance for all the wind noise in this video because the entire trip was filled with lots of wind. Mars has got all kinds of crazy looking rocks. Look at that. Like, this area had to be underwater at one point. Like, look at how round these rocks are. It only happens underwater, right? Like, right? Had to be underwater. So off in the distance, it looks like we might actually run into a little bit of weather. And as you guys can probably imagine, this is not really a good spot to be in if it starts to rain. I'd imagine these roads get pretty impassable whenever they're wet. So we're gonna hope that that stays over there and we don't have to deal with it. What you're looking at is a plant of sorts, even though it looks like one big rock. And it's kind of both. Weird, right? Side note, green chili salsa over the burrito at the Moab Diner might not have been the most ideal choice for the meal pre-Mars trip. So FYI, if you're going to Mars, don't eat spicy. Yeah, nah. So we came across this active dig site, which is pretty cool, I guess. Well, it's not real active right now, but yeah. So apparently they're finding dinosaurs here. They're just not letting us see them. Pretty cool nonetheless. This over here talks about the dinosaurs and stuff they found here. There's a lot of them. The diversity here is truly remarkable. So you've got this little cliff here with regular rocks, you know, and then you've got those line rocks that are pinkish and whitish. And then over there, you've got even more of those line rocks. And then right here you have sand. Real fine sand, like sand dune sand. got the line that just goes to this rock. Pretty cool, huh? Wonder what that one line represents, like, time-wise. What's even crazier, though, is you see this rock. All of these rocks. Those rocks, too. And then you realize that they came from up there at some point. They've fallen. Crazy. Not bad view from tonight's site, huh? We got Christy Homemaker in there making the home. Clear skies behind us. Some gray up above us, but I think that it's just gonna pass right on through. I think that it's gonna be a little bit too dry to rain over here, but this is our spot. Not bad, not bad. This is about the only spot we could find that didn't have a whole bunch of wind, so, you know, sometimes it'd be that way. We're kind of off in this little canyon here, which is really pretty. It's a neat spot. The scenery here is just absolutely epic. I can't describe it on video. I tried to get as best as I could. I tried to get you guys some footage, but it's so remarkable. The camera doesn't do it any justice. Good food, cold brews, good views, can't be beat. That's the current situation. Literally, as I got the words out of my mouth, raindrops started falling, so it's probably gonna rain a little bit. Now, that said, this is not the spot that I wanna be during a heavy rain at all. Like, this is absolutely 100% do not wanna be here during a heavy rain. Luckily, I don't think it's gonna be a heavy rain event. And if it is, then we'll just have to figure something out. But I don't think it's gonna be too bad. So
Yeah, I mean, the clouds.
it should be fine. It's literally like, that's the rain. Yeah, it'll go away. But we did have to put the rain fly on. By the way, don't be afraid to stake down the corners there, because during a really, really big windstorm, the panels can push in. But the only way that it'll happen is if you don't stake down the side panels there. As you can see, I've got guide ropes on both sides. Well, all sides. By the way, I want to go on record saying this. Rewind all the way back to 2016, start there, and then track every time I've ever been to the desert, and I want you to tell me what's the one common thing. Spoiler alert, it rains. Nearly every time I come to the desert, it rains. Sometimes it rains a little, sometimes it rains a lot, but nonetheless, every time I've ever gone to the desert, it rains. Call me Mr. Rain Man, I don't know, but that's what happens. Death Valley, rained. Moab, first trip on Hell's Revenge, rained. Utah and Mars, rain. Yeah, it's a theme, man. And let's not even start on all my trips through the Southeast. It rained nearly every time I've ever been on any kind of long trip in the Southeast. Kentucky, rained. Oklahoma, rained. The list goes on. Check out behind us, huh? That's pretty crazy, right? That's rain in the desert.
Desert's mystery.
Yeah, man, that's rain. Epic looking though. Wow. I've had 3 of these bottles and every single one of them leaks in the same exact way. You can't just leave it like this. It will leak. Yep. All right, we got the kitchen set up just in time for the bugs to come out. We're gonna have some of these 14-day-old ribeye steaks here. Look pretty good. Found this butter, garlic, parmesan, and basil sounded absolutely amazing. Some of this asparagus, and I picked up, because I left the steak seasoning, I picked just steak seasoning up, which is a combination. It looks like it's salt, pepper, garlic, all the same stuff that you would use when you cook a steak. Y'all ready for this? I'm gonna let them sit right there for about the same amount of time that we cooked them for. But while they sit, I'm gonna put a little bit of that love on them. Yeah, boy. So now I got the love in the pan. Let's go ahead and put these bad boys in there. Might have been a little bit excess on the butter, said no one ever, but it is what it is. And since that steak seasoning is essentially just salt and pepper and a couple other little spices, I'm gonna go ahead and just use it on this too. Good food, cold brews, epic views. That's gonna be the new tagline, huh? I'm gonna get a shirt that says that. And if you guys buy it, it'll help support the channel, so I'd appreciate it a lot. Your boy needs some gas money. Puma's just patiently waiting for something to drop. I'm not looking. Try one of those asparagus.
I think it's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Not soggy.
No, yeah, just the right consistency.
Nice and crunchy.
Here's a pretty good idea that Lady Christie has come up with. So she's tripping over these guy wires. So what she does is she puts chairs in front of them.
So,
I think that's a good pro tip there, darling.
well, once the sun starts going down and then it's dark and all you got is your headlamp,
And you can't see
you're
them.
gonna forget where they are.
Yeah. So much for getting away from the wind. Holy cow, buddy. Man, I'm glad I tied everything down tight.
Coming directly at us.
It's, yeah. The wind has shifted, my dear.
It has.
Yeah. We're still dealing with a little bit of gray skies over here. This is what's coming over us right now, which is crazy how it moves. But that's what's bringing the wind right now, is that. And I imagine the reason it looks that color is because it's got dust in it. I guess, I don't know. But we've battened down the hatches and we've prepared. And I must say, I'm pretty damn impressed with myself. However, I will say this, without Christy's help, there's no way that I could have got that canopy up by myself. It would have ended up broken. Either I would have broke it or the wind would have broke it, one of the two. But there's no way that I'd have been able to do that by myself. So Christy and I have discussed it. We're saddened at the fact that there are a whole lot of people that will never, ever get to experience what we are experiencing right now, which is just total awe. It's an awness. It's a wild feeling. Good morning. What's happening? Welcome to, well, the desert. Absolutely beautiful. Great night. Fantastic sleep. The desert is probably on my top of all the places I like to camp. It's hot as hell during the day, but at night it's super fantastic. Now, one thing that I will say though is the bugs here are kind of strange. Like there's a lot of bugs here, and I don't typically think of that whenever I think of desert. There's a lot of little flying insects, a lot of little like no-see-ums, gnats, different things like that. So kind of crazy. We're gonna fix some breakfast, then we're gonna go head up to the skyline. There's nothing real spectacular. It's just some smoked sausage, scrambled eggs, cheese, and a little bit of coffee. Well, in case you couldn't see Mars while we were down there, if you're going to come up to the top, I'll show you from above. The drone's not working, so I had to drive over here to get a bird's eye view. What's crazy to me is how it's like gray right here, but then it turns like a pinkish color over there. Mars is a wild place. question, what else do you do whenever you come across water in the desert? But get in it.
Well, yeah. Feel that. It's like, it's weird. I guess that's potash.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not real sure what potash is.
It's almost like a salt.
It's like, it looks like a salt, yeah. What do you think, buddy?
He's like, I'm just thankful for you.
He's like, I just kind of like the water. Now, you know how I'm always saying that the land was underwater? So I want you to look at this and the shape of the sand and how it all looks. And now, look at this. Look at this place. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. I think Chrissy said it best when she said she believes that the whole entire state of Utah is like one of those sand art things that you did as a kid. It really looks like that. The contrast is crazy too, because you have like the sharp red rocks over there. You've got traditional mountains with snow caps over here. Crazy red, pink, different color. I think they call it a mesa over here. It's otherworldly. You guys have no idea what it's like to experience this unless you've been here. But through this camera, you can't capture it all. This is just nuts. All right, well, that's going to wrap up our trip to Mars. Again, sorry for all the wind noise. It was just kind of part of the experience, you know what I mean? Hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. And remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all.